Let's talk about it. Tyra Hill Show. Hey guys, what's up? It is your leading lady, Tyra Hill, and I want to welcome you into the healing room. Thank you if you tuned in to tonight's premiere of the healing room. It was such a dope conversation. Shout out to psychotherapist Tracy Harris and sexual assault survivor Janine Ellis. So Janine and I thought that it would be befitting to host a quick Q&A because tonight's conversation was real, right? You guys know how I get down. You know what my motto is. My motto is real people, real life, real conversations, and real talk, right? And so Janine and I were talking, and I'm like, Janine, your story was so dope. Like to know everything that you've grown through and to see who you are now as a woman. We got to do a quick Q&A. And of course, my sister said, let's do it. Let's talk about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to some and present to other my sister, Janine Ellis. Y'all show her some love. Welcome her. Welcome her. Hi, Janine.
Hey, sister. Thank you.
How are you, beautiful?
Thank you. I am wonderful. Thank you so much for, first of all, having the vision and the forethought to do what you do, to help so many heal, and to just be that sister to us all. We need that. And this conversation, and as many of the conversations you've been having, and as people will realize through your show, they are so important. They're so critical to us healing and being healthy and being whole. So I thank you because that was my first time telling my story like that.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first time when we did that taping, that show. That was my first time putting myself fully out there.
Janine,
Yeah.
and let me say
No,
this
I'm
to
so
you.
serious.
Thank you first and foremost for your courage because it takes a lot of courage to do what you did, right? So many of us, men and women, walk through our
Yeah,
lives in bondage,
yeah,
because of the sexual trauma that we may have experienced within our childhood and adulthood, right? And
that's
so
right.
you came onto my show so gracefully and you were so open and you were so honest and you were very transparent about everything that you had endured. And so, although God gave me the vision for the show, it would not have been completed without you. So, thank you, Queen, for having the
Thank you.
courage, to just tell your story and share. Janine, your story has helped so many people. I haven't got so many emails about
I pray
this
that it
show and this
does.
conversation. And so I kind of want to ask you, some questions. I am actually going to get on another device because we are live. Say hi to YouTube. Say hey to YouTube. Say hey to
Hey, you
Facebook.
too.
Hey, YouTube and Facebook.
Hey, FB
And
family.
thank you all for just chiming in because I understand that the conversations I have are not everyday conversations. They are most definitely hard conversations, right? And so sometimes I feel like nobody's listening. Nobody wants to heal. Nobody's listening, right? But then I have those days when I get those emails or those DMs, if I'm healing one person, one family at a time, then I've done what God has created me to do.
That's
So
right.
thank you so much. So let me ask you this. Did you tell your family about the show?
I did tell my family about the show.
What was the
When
response?
when I initially had the conversation with my mom, she was a little quiet
Mm-hmm.
and she just listened and she looked over at me and she was like, "Oh yeah. Okay."
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling your whole story. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
my whole entire story, which is part of your story.
Right.
And I told her, I said, Mom, the one thing, what was good about it, and let me just say this, there's healing in telling, which we'll talk about that. But I told my mother, I said, I went through stuff at a young age. There were certain things I couldn't tell you till I got older.
Mm-hmm.
When I did share it with you, it struck a nerve. You felt upset, you cried. It affected her. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it also brought to mind her own trauma
Right.
because there were things she had been through.
Right.
So, with me telling her that I told my story, I think it freed her to be able to talk a little bit about herself. So,
Mm-hmm.
we've had small conversations, but not everything. But I told her, I said, Mom, it's okay
Mm-hmm.
to feel. It's okay to feel that emotion. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to heal from it. You don't have to hold on to that crap
Mm-hmm.
because I know for the issues she's had growing up and as an adult, it's because she was holding that stuff and
Right.
she doesn't need to.
Because you can't heal
So,
what you don't feel. and
right.
and that's
Exactly.
people don't understand, you know what I'm saying? And we have to give
Right.
ourselves permission to feel, you know,
Yeah.
like I guess, Janine, since I'm getting older, I just turned a year older. We hung out, you took me away, and we had a
Yes.
great time.
We
um
had such a good time.
we had such a great time, but I think, sister, the older that I become, the more I'm okay about with being unapologetic about my healing. You get what I'm saying? And
That's right.
so before we go any further in the show, I really want to give a quick shout out to our parents, and especially our moms, for,
Yes.
not shutting us down. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It, like you said, it's their stories too, right? And so when
Yes.
you have, like, my story was complicated. And so in the show, I talked about my mom saying, it's not your story to tell, it's my story to
Mm,
tell, right? And
mm,
so
yeah.
I'm a part of your story. And I just cannot be silent and not heal because you're not ready to deal with it. You get what I'm saying?
That part. That right there. Yes.
And it's no
Yes.
disrespect, because everybody that knows me know that I love my mother, I honor my mother, and I respect my mother. However, I needed to heal because I was so broken. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, shout
Yeah.
out to your mom. And mom, if you're
Yeah.
watching, we love you. You have such a wonderful
Absolutely. I
daughter.
love my mama.
Right, you reared a wonderful daughter. She is the true definition of a queen, honey. And so, I want to kind of get into this because I know some of the viewers had questions. And one of the questions that we got when you told your story
Mhm.
about the older
Yeah.
guy that you were dating,
Ooh.
a lot of people compared it to R. Kelly.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know,
So it's funny because I never looked at it like that. Like
Mhm.
he was older and he was grown. He was what, 19? I was 15. So you're thinking a 4-year difference is not a big deal. But when you look at 15 being a minor, and 19 being somebody who's already out of high school doing whatever they do,
Mhm.
that is a big difference. There's a whole different mindset. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was a problem. And trust me, had my daddy known about it, it
it would
wouldn't
have
have
got
been a
shut
good
down.
result. Real quick.
Right. And
Real quick.
so before we go any further, because someone else asked me, and I hate that the women missed it, what was the Heal Conference? And so I kind of
Whew.
just want to let everybody know how the healing room happened. So a lot of times I just be in my home because I love being home when I'm not traveling and working. And I'll just be writing, and God just gave me a vision about heal. And HEAL was the acronym for her elevation and liberation, right? And that was important to me because throughout my healing journey, I although the journey is painful, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all know I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna keep it a
That's
bean,
right.
keep it
Don't
100. Healing ain't pretty. It don't
nope.
look pretty. It don't
Don't
feel
feel pretty. That's
because
right.
you have to relive what it was that broke you or traumatized you. However,
Yeah.
it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. It
Yes, it
just don't
is.
feel good in the beginning, but baby, the more you
Mhm.
go, the more you start shedding, the more you start healing, the better you feel, the better you become, and it's just a
That's
dope
right.
ass feeling, right? And
You know
so,
that saying,
mhm,
when you heal a woman, you heal a nation?
yes,
It's a fact.
yes,
It is
come
a
through,
fact.
come
Healing
through.
is essential.
Healing is
Hmm.
essential. So the more I healed, Janine, the higher I went within
Yes.
business, within my relationships. You get what I'm saying? So that's where her
Right.
elevation came. And the more I healed, the freer I became. That's where her
Yes.
elevation and liberation came, right? And so I
Hmm.
was just in here minding my business, and God just gave me the vision. And it seems like God always give me the hard things. And I don't understand why, but I know why, because I know he knows he can trust me with it. Because Tyra Hill gonna say, let me tell y'all about me. I'ma say shit that people think and don't really want to say. I'ma talk about things that we should be talking about, but ain't nobody really talking about. Right? Because I'm real. And that's why I deal with real
Right.
people, real conversations, real life, and real talk.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
And
right.
so I remember arguing with God, like, no, I ain't about to talk about that. These people don't want to be free. You know, they still busting the windows out cars. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know,
Oh
they
my
still
goodness.
Jasmine Sullivan, they still carry Underwood. You know, I bust the
Hmm.
windows up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm so glad I did because the response was not what I thought it would be, but it was everything that God intended for it to be. And
Exactly.
the women that came were truly blessed.
They were blessed. They sure were.
And I
They
was
were
too.
able to take away a lot from it. And right, by us doing it, I know I was blessed just being able to do it and to share and to listen and absorb, the info and to watch these women just transform through that month-long process. It was beautiful. So
Beautiful.
I don't care if it was 5, 10, 500 people, it was amazing.
It was beautiful. And it
Yeah.
actually became the healing room.
Right.
As sisters, we
Right.
sharpened each other. We cried
Hmm.
together. We encouraged
Yep.
each other. We listened.
Yeah.
And we created a safe place. You remember me
Yes.
telling y'all that was the number one thing for me. We had to create a safe place for
Safe
these women
place.
to come in and be
Yep.
vulnerable. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wasn't
Yeah.
sure that a lot of women was gonna share their stories, but they did.
They shared. Yeah. They shared.
So now
Definitely. It was beautiful.
let's get into you because you talked about during the show, and let me tell y'all, if you have not watched the Healing Room Part 1, go to the Tyra Hill Show YouTube channel right now. Okay, let me help y'all out right there, right there. The Tyra Hill Show. Go to our YouTube channel and get caught up because part 2 airs next
Yeah.
week. But during part
Oh my
1,
God. It was so good. We had to do part
we
two.
had to do a part 2.
We
And
had
that
to.
time went so quick, Janine.
Oh yeah.
It went
Oh
so
yeah. It was
quick.
so good.
It was so
Hmm.
good. It was so good. But if you didn't watch it, I'm just going to give you a little bit because I need for y'all to go check out part 1 because part 2 airs next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel. Okay? If you missed it, Janine talked about her mother being an alcoholic. throughout her childhood and how they would have parties. Y'all know about them parties. My mom and them had parties too. On Fridays, the weekend, the grown folks came together. They fried fish. They played cards. They listened to
Oh
Marvin
yeah.
Gaye. They played dominoes and they
Hmm.
partied. And the kids didn't come out the room unless we was bleeding or dying. You know, that's what they told. Don't come out that room unless you
Or
bleed or
unless you are a nosy kid.
die. Right. And so Janine talked about how she was violated from 6 to 12, I think it was. And I think what really, and I cannot shake this, Janine, is when you told us that story and you told us that your violator was saying you had nice breasts and you were only 6 years old. I cannot get that up out of my mind. Like, who tells a 6-year-old girl that she has nice
Right.
breasts?
Right.
And what kind
And
of breasts
I
you
started
really have at
blossoming at
6?
an early age.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it was pretty inappropriate. I mean, obviously, but I started to blossom at an early age. So I already felt like I needed to cover that up
Mhm.
because,
Mhm.
what's going on here? And then to bring attention to that, that was a whole another level of issues. It was a problem.
Well, you
And
talked about in the show you had some type of body. You were ashamed of your body.
I was ashamed of my body. I didn't realize, even as a teenager, I always felt like I was too fat, too overweight, and I wasn't even chubby then. I had like this perfect hourglass figure, but you couldn't tell me that then. I
Mhm.
didn't I didn't see me, you
Mhm.
know, because I felt like just ignore that. That's
Mhm.
not you. That's not what you look like. You don't look good, you
Mhm.
know. And we mask it, we cover it up and dress it up, but you know what you're feeling inside. So I never felt like, oh, yeah, I look good. Oh, I am attractive. Oh, I do have a good body. Never felt that way. It wasn't until I became much older that
Mhm.
I was more comfortable in my skin.
Well, that's crazy because and people probably don't believe this, and this is why you got to get up close and candid with me because you learn so much about me. I like you. I started developing at an early age, and I was curvy. But
Hmm.
for years, when I got older, I would always wear jackets that covered my butt because I felt like my butt brought me unwarranted attention. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I
Yeah.
guess what I'm trying to say is once you're sexually violated, you begin to think that it's your fault. Maybe I shouldn't dress this
Exactly.
way. If I wouldn't have dressed this way, then they won't be whistling and talking, ooh, you got some fries with that shake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe if I just don't bring any attention to my butt, then I'll be safe. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Janine, we didn't think about even the things without being in school and being sexually assaulted. I remember boys running down the hallway and smacking my butt.
Oh, what? Girl, that was the game on the block. I had like 30 kids on the block I grew up on, which was great. We had so much fun, but that was the game. That run, catch, and kiss, and they run past the girl, smack her on the booty, and want you to
I
chase
go get it.
them.
I talked
That,
about how I go get
yeah.
it. How I go get it. The games that we used
Oh
to
yeah.
play. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I just now that we're older, I think about the things that happen, and we call it now the
Yeah.
rape culture, right?
Yeah.
The songs that we were bumping that we shouldn't have been bumping. You
Right.
may be young, but you ready. You know what
Right. And when
I'm
you look back, it's like, wait, that song may have been a little
What
inappropriate.
was I doing singing
Yeah.
R. Kelly 12 play? One, you go. Like, what was I doing singing those songs? You get what I'm saying? But I get so
Right.
tickled, Janine, because I don't think that our community understands how, like, even with mom and them, let's talk about moms in them generation, the
Hmm.
music that we listen to. But when I think about
Oh
the
yeah.
blues and how nasty they was,
It made me laugh.
Because
they
you
were
know, some people
nasty.
don't listen to the
They,
blues. They don't
listen,
think about Millie Jackson and how nasty
the
Millie Jackson was.
Millie Jackson was something else, honey.
And so this is
What?
the type of
And
music.
wait, and one of your favorites, Betty Wright, was
Betty
no
Wright,
joke
honey,
either.
the cleanup woman, honey. I'm
Yes, honey.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is
Hmm.
the music in our culture
Hmm.
have music that has basically okay bad behavior sexually.
Right.
You
Right.
know, things that were inappropriate, they kind of made it appropriate by celebrating it through their music. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I think about your journey of being molested from 6 to 12
Hmm.
and being raped at 17,
15.
15,
No, it was 17. It was
17,
17. Right.
right? See,
17.
I know I be paying
Yeah.
attention because my mouth be dropping because I feel like all
Yeah.
of us have a story as
Yeah.
women, as men, because you said in during the show, and I'm trying not to
Girl.
give it away, about your brother. I asked you, were any other kids molested? And you
Yeah.
said you're not
Yeah.
sure, but you're almost certain that something happened to your brother.
It's crazy because after the conference, during some point last year, I was talking to him about what I was doing and about our show, the one we did in October. And I was like, bro, honestly, I know that if something happened to me with all of the craziness that was going on, I know for a fact with the way that you behave in your life, something happened to you. I was like, and if you ever are ready to talk about it with me, because we've been there together, let's talk. I was like, but the only way you're going to get free and healed is to talk about it. And he looked at me, like really just stopped and looked at me and paused for like almost a minute. And he was like, yeah, yeah, you're
Isn't it
right.
crazy how?
He hasn't done it yet, but
Mhm.
when he's
But
ready,
he
I'm here.
will. He will. But I just think it's
Yeah.
so crazy that our men, because we got to stop acting like men didn't get molested. We have to stop acting like men didn't get raped, right? But it's so crazy how our men, our kings, our sons, our brothers, our fathers, our husbands, boyfriends, nephews, how they
Hmm.
just hide so much because they're so afraid of being
Yeah.
deemed weak.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Or how some men will look at it like, the guys joke, oh, you had sex with the babysitter. Oh, you a G, you this, you that. Like, oh, that's a good thing, like it's a notch on the belt. But one of my really good friends, it happened to him. And as he got older, he said it bothered him. And that's when he started talking to people and he realized, wait a minute, I didn't want that. I was violated. Just like women get raped, he was like, I was raped by a woman. She took my virginity. She took something from me that I wasn't willing to give her. And he started realizing how bad that was and that he had also been a victim. Where some guys would be like, oh, you did it with the babysitter. That's cool. He said, no, it's not cool. And it wasn't good. And it didn't make him feel good. So I told him he needs to tell his story because I know there are several men that have been there. And
Well,
that's just,
it's just
a little.
crazy. It's crazy, Janine, that you would hold on. I'm trying to get you. There we go. It's crazy that you would. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, I'm everything. I'm every woman. That when it comes to the men in our lives, we have to start creating a safe place for them. We cannot allow for them to be in bondage because as women, And this has been 2023, 2022. Well, the last few years, I'm just gonna keep it a bean, has been the movement of the woman, right?
Right.
You've seen more
Right.
women put in powerful positions. We out here making
Hmm.
money moves. We out here securing the bags. So are our
Yep.
kings. However, I feel like with that, women are healing. We're in therapy, but our men are still struggling. And I just kind of
Yeah.
want them to heal,
Yeah.
Janine. I need for them
Yeah.
to.
We can't leave them behind
We
because we need
cannot
them.
leave them behind because we
No,
need them.
we need
We
them.
need
Yeah.
them. You know, and you
Hmm.
said something earlier that when you heal a woman, you heal a nation.
That.
When you heal a man, baby,
Mm, mm.
baby,
That's the family.
that's the family. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's the tree. You get what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I'm just so adamant about pushing this agenda. Like Tyra
Right.
Hill got propaganda, and my propaganda is healing. You know, I'm all about
That's
healing because
right.
I want us to be better. And I want women out
Hmm.
there from whatever walks of lives that you're in. You may still be out there in the streets, honey. You could be up
Right.
in the church because we got to stop acting like people who go to church ain't suffering from sexual assault. They just
What?
mixing it up with the word, but still broken on
Listen,
the inside.
they're broken. That's why most of them go to the church
Mm-hmm.
to find peace and healing.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I just want us to heal. I am going to keep pushing this propaganda. Like
That's
people
right.
prepare to be sick of me because this is the only conversation I'm having. You know, and it's
Hmm.
so worth it to me. Like I always say, if I was out here talking reckless and you know, I used to do that on my platforms, you know, tell people about themselves and Adam and you know, be all crazy and stuff. You know, they would share that 100 times. You get what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
But now
It's
since I'm
sensational.
talking right, since I'm being more conscious with my platform and I'm producing the things that I don't see. I don't hear other
Right.
shows talking about what's going on in our houses. And I'm not talking about a building, I'm talking
Hmm.
about in our houses, right? And so
Right.
I'm going to keep talking about it because y'all might as well just prepare to be sick of me, honey, because we're going to talk about it. Because one thing I understand is when you are broken and you rear children, you then rear broken children.
Hence generational curses.
Come
And we
on
have
now.
to break them.
We
We
have
have
to
to
break.
stop it. That's right.
Tracy said something in the show,
Okay.
and you're an educator. For those of you that don't know, Janine is an educator, and she is a phenomenal educator. She's so much more than an educator, but I ain't gonna run down her
Thank
resume
you.
because I don't want y'all in her DMs. Okay,
Oh, Lord, don't do
right,
it.
right. So I'm not gonna run down the resume, sis. You know, but one of the things that Tracy said tonight that I love, well, she said a lot of stuff. The first thing that she said
Uh-huh, a lot of
is
good stuff.
being a child is already traumatic enough
Mm,
because as a child, you don't have a voice, especially within the African American community. We don't leave room for our children to tell us how they feel. We don't leave
right.
room for our children to be honest about things that we do that they may not like. You know,
Hmm.
the other thing that she talked about, which was really, 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 really good, because she made some great points on tonight, was
Oh, yeah.
we some of us force our children to engage with family members. Like for instance, she was saying one of her cousins, she went to a family event. And one of her cousins
Hmm.
was like, "Go ahead, cousin Tracy," and the child was like, "Nah." And the mama was like, "You better go hug cousin Tracy." And Tracy said she had to step in and advocate for the baby and was like, "Don't make them
Right.
hug
Like
me
it's
if they don't want
okay.
to hug me."
That's
And
right.
she broke that thing down and she talked about like they should have a right who they would want to interact with, who they would want to
Exactly.
engage with, who they want to touch their
Right.
persons.
Yes. Yes.
So as an
Especially
educator,
because
go ahead. Go ahead.
children are sensitive.
Okay.
They are sensitive to energy. They are sensitive to spirits. I don't know what anybody believes, but I'm going to tell you right now, there are negative energies and negative spirits, and children are sensitive to that. They're
Mm-hmm.
more open to that. We get filled up with so much external stuff. We're not close to that anymore unless you're really working on it and practicing that. Children, on the other hand, are sensitive. So they see things and sense things differently
They
than
do.
we do. So
Yeah, they
they should not
do.
be forced
Mm-hmm.
to touch or be around anyone if they're not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if they're that uncomfortable, you better look at it.
Right. And that's one of the things that I said in the live chat tonight as we was doing the
Mhm.
premiere. Watch your children. Watch watch how they
Right.
react when certain people come around. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Do they shut
Yep.
down? Like you were saying,
Yeah.
you started just staying in your room. When any other
Yeah.
time you would have been out looking to see what was going
Right.
on. Your children will
Yeah.
let you know it. There. Tracy always says this, and then my attorneys always say this too. There are always red flags, but sometimes we
Always.
see them.
Yep. Yep. So
You
true.
know,
Sad but true.
I'm just so honored to be able to do these types of things, to have these types of real conversations. We got people chatting on Facebook. Shout out to Kiki Collins and Candace. Um,
Oh, hey
and
y'all.
and others that are sharing. Candace says, "Listen, this is a
Hmm.
whole word, and I'm so glad you are saying this. Y'all know
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
dealing with it, I'm talking about it." Janine,
That's right.
next
Sis.
week, I'm gonna let you set them up for next week. Next week, we're premiering part 2 of this conversation, the
Ooh,
healing.
and part two goes even deeper. We really got into some stuff in part two. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to really tune in to get the fullness
Mm-hmm.
of this
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
you
hopefully at some point in the future, we'll continue it because we're not done.
No,
We couldn't
no,
put it
this
all
is just
in.
the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Right.
And it's so crazy because I feel like my whole season 2 is just
Yeah.
off the chain.
It's fire. Your season
Fire.
two is fire. That's
Like
it.
the
That's it.
shows that I produced for season 2. And so
Yeah.
if you are not familiar with me, I've been in the industry for years. As far as media, 10 years. But I've been in
Hmm.
entertainment for over 25 years, right? But I am the executive producer and owner of the Tyra Hill Show. And
Hmm.
so I get excited when I get to produce shows that are meaningful. Because if you know me, you know I don't move without intent, right? And so
Yeah.
I want to be more intentional. But season 2, and I'm not just saying this to toot my own horn because I am humble. I got a piece of hair that's driving me crazy. I am beyond
That
humble.
was me. I'm like my
Yeah,
eyelash.
I am beyond humble, but season 2 is off the chain.
Yes, it
From
is.
This is the third show that we're premiering for season 2. But show 1, Black Men and Mental Health Part 1.
Hmm.
Episode 2, Black Men and Mental Health Part 2. Part 3, The Healing Room Part 1.
That's
And
right.
so next week we're airing The Healing Room Part 2.
Part two.
Janine, let them know what it is. Set it up. Set it up. They gonna think I'm just hyping them up because I
I
produced
know.
them. So hold on.
It's
I'm gonna let you do your
go on.
thing. I'm really gonna let you do your thing. And yeah. Go ahead, Janine. Tell them what it really is.
So in the healing room part two, I mean, you heard a lot of information and stories, but in part two, we're getting even deeper into it and looking at why things happen the way they do, talking about our childhood trauma, but talking
Yes.
about the historical trauma and how it goes back. into slavery and our attitudes and ways with each other in our interactions and relationships, and why we end up the way we do or in the situations that we do, and how important it is to start breaking those cycles and talk about it. And we talk a lot about talking to our families, our parents, God willing, if they're still alive, having those hard conversations, because you want to heal generations. And how do you do that? You have to talk to the generations. So it's so important to have these conversations and make them real, and realize what it is. And like we were saying before, we cannot leave our men out, because they have been hurt too, and we want them to know that we are with them, and that we hear them, we see them. And those are things that are so important that we get into in these shows, in the healing room. It's serious, y'all. We really get down and get deep. So if you're ready to dig deeper,
Y'all
tune
better
in
y'all
next
better pull up
Sunday
a part.
at 7 p.m.
You
for the
gotta pull
Tyra
up.
Hill Show, the Healing Room Part 2.
Janine, you have been
Be
so
ready.
phenomenal. And again, shout out to Tracy, because I could not have done this
Yes.
without Tracy. But there's
Tracy
an
is amazing.
announcement. Tracy is amazing. Tracy is the truth. And if y'all don't know who Tracy is my therapist. So when I have real conversations, I'm bringing in Tracy Harris, because I want to be not
Yeah.
only intentional, but I want to know what it is that I'm talking about. So most things that I'm
Hmm.
talking about is either researched, I've lived it, or I'm living it, and we're going to talk about it.
That's
So,
right.
Janine, you have a major event coming up. Let's
I
talk
do. So
about it.
in addition to being an educator over the last 25 years, I also am a jewelry designer. So I have a jewelry company where I make handcrafted, one of a kind pieces. So next Saturday, or this Saturday coming, at the Alhambra Ballroom in Harlem, New York, our phenomenal women's group will be hosting an expo. It's a health and wellness expo. So there'll be screenings, there'll be a kids' fashion show, there's going to be a timeless, ageless beauties kind of fashion show, where, we'll be walking in our gowns. There will be about 50 vendors, there'll be food and drink and some musical performances. It's going to be amazing. So we would love it. If you're in the New York area, come through. It's $20 at the door, or you can DM me and pay me, and I'll add you to my guest list. And that's it. That's it. I hope everyone comes out. It's going to be a phenomenal time.
Well, Janine, I am so excited about your event. And you all have to just connect with her as far as what she has going on, because she's always doing something within the community. Yes, yes, yes. So you told them where to connect with you all at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they can
So,
go to my website, or they can go to my pages, FB or Instagram. It's Nina, NINA Creations.com, or Nina Joy Creations on FB, on IG. They can check me out, or Janine Y. Ellis.
and
And
then
that's
this is what
it.
I'm gonna need for you to do. I'm gonna need for you to slide up under this at this live, get in the comments, and then put your link there. Can you do that
Okay.
for us? All right.
Let's
Uh,
see.
yeah. Yeah, put that up in there. Yeah. So, real quick, guys, thank you for tuning in into the premiere of The Healing Room. If you did, if not, you still got time to go on YouTube. It's going to be there. Go check it out before next week's premiere come, part 2, because we're going to finalize that conversation. And yeah, bring it on home. I have an announcement, and it actually has taken me a few weeks to make this announcement, but I really wanted to do this announcement the right way, right? So, effective immediately, the Tyra Hill Show is back indeed. I am no longer affiliated with the network that I was previously affiliated with or any of their affiliates. I need for y'all to catch that. Okay. I started out indie. Okay. And being indie, God has graced me to do some amazing things. I'm talking about red carpet, stellar awards, London Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, movie premiere red carpets. I've been in the game for a while, right? And my reputation in the industry has been that there of integrity and respect. If you know anything about me in business, you will not hear one bad thing about me in these streets. And if you do, please consider your source. Um, because I probably got a story behind whatever that source is saying. And it's gonna be the truth. Because I don't lie to kick it. But effective immediately, your girl is back. Independent. Do you know what that
You
means?
know what that means?
Independent. Sorry, I had to put on a little Webby and Bootsy on y'all. But I am excited about being independent again. One thing about me is I just told you that I walk in integrity, and in business, there has to be respect. And whenever I feel like Tyra Hill and what I bring to the table is not respected, it's easy for me. I just get up from their table and I go back and sit at my table, the table I built, right? And so I'm excited about being indie. Again, I get to control my narrative, release my shows in a fashionable time, right? And just move out the middle person. And then I get to be hands-on and transparent. I miss y'all. I miss doing lives. I miss interacting because I'm a real person who go through real life shit, right? And so I don't
That's
like
right.
all that Hollywood stuff because I don't act Hollywood. If you ever see me out in these streets and you be like, oh my God, Tyrell, I follow you on social media. I love your show. I'm be like, come on, let's take a picture. What's your name? Because I'm just that down to earth chick, right? And so I'm excited about all that God has for me, honey. God is opening doors for me every day. But trust and believe, I'm only walking through doors that He approves, right? And so, yeah, I just kind of want to let you guys know that. You know, I keep it a being with you. I'm very transparent, but yes, I'm independent and I am so happy to be back in the driving seat of what I created and what I birthed. I don't have anything negative to say about that network over there. You know, I just want to thank my fans. Let me say this, my loyal fans, since I'm, unknown. You know, let me thank my loyal fans for your loyalty throughout the years. Thank you guys for sharing my stuff. Thank you for liking my stuff. Thank you for commenting. And I need for y'all to subscribe to this YouTube channel since I'm back indie. Okay? I ain't on no networks no more. Don't go checking for me on them networks because you ain't going to find me. You going to find the Tyra Hill Show on Tyra Hill's or the Tyra Hill Show's YouTube channel. And I need for y'all to subscribe because I ain't going to tell you what they said because I'm not going to be nasty like them. But I'm going to tell y'all what I told them about y'all.
You're not.
My fans, they don't play about me. My fans, they loyal. My fans, they ride for me. And so y'all just don't be going to check for me nowhere else but the Tyra Hill Show YouTube channel. I need for you to subscribe. Because see, what I'm doing, I had to move out the middleman. I don't need the middleman. I come from the streets. I am the plug. I create the dope
There you
content.
go.
I create the dope content. I produce the dope shows. I am the plug. Okay? So I need for my fans to get with y'all people and tell y'all people just slide on YouTube. You know, just subscribe to the Tyra Hill Show. You know, I need them YouTube subscriptions to go up because I am working on a master plan. and I cannot do it without y'all. Now I can do it without the network, but I cannot do it without y'all. Right? So thank you in advance. Please go subscribe, because when you subscribe, then I can take my show to the next level. You get what I'm saying?
Drops mic.
And I'm so excited.
I
Cause
had to.
and then let me say this. Let me say this, and I'm not gonna be petty because I promised you I would. Did I do good though? Did I do good?
You did good.
I did
That's
good.
enough, right?
Okay, I did good. But let me say this to y'all. Cause I'm telling y'all, I wanted to child. And Janine will tell you, child, but that's not who I am. That's not who I am, honey. I know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. So that's all I'm gonna say. Um, and that's all I got to say. I need for y'all to go to that YouTube channel and subscribe, 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 share, share, share. Give me, as my grandson say, give me a big thumbs up. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I would not be here without you. Thank you for being loyal. Janine, is there anything you want to say to a sexual survivor out there? Or somebody that's wrestling with
Tell,
telling?
tell your story. Tell. You have to, real quick, talk about it. You have to tell. There is an acronym for tell, and I'll just give this little jewel. Tell is talk, express, liberate, and love. You got to talk about it so that you can liberate yourself and be free. You have to express what you're feeling, get it out of you, and then you have to, I'm sorry, tell, talk, express, liberate, love. Love yourself through it, in spite of it, no matter what. And eventually you'll become who you need to be for yourself. But if you don't talk about it, that's where we get held up. You have to talk. So the power of tell, talk, express, liberate, love. Remember those 4 words, and it'll be healing for you.
And when
That's
you
it.
tell your story, you take back your power. Let me
Oh
tell you,
yeah.
you take back your
What?
power and you initiate your healing. That's why people don't want you to say nothing, because they want you to stay in bondage. People don't want you to talk about it. But you got to find a safe place where you could go talk and tell. Tell your story. Because guess
Mm-hmm.
what? We
That's
listening
right.
and we care because we want you to heal. Janine, I love you. Thank you
I
so
love you
much
too,
for taking time
sister.
up out of your busy schedule. Let me tell y'all
Thank
something. I'm
you.
talking right now. Part 2 is coming next week. I need for y'all to go check out that YouTube channel, Black Men and Mental Health, The Healing Room, Part 1 and 2. Then I had a conversation woman to woman with my mama, and we talked about
Ooh.
real things, right? That was a 2-part too, because that conversation was trill. Well, they told me to stop
Oh
saying
yeah.
trill. I'm telling my age. That conversation was
Oh
real, right? So after that, after Woman to Woman, I think I produced a dope show called The Coochie Conversation, where we talking all things
yes.
vagina, how to clean your vagina, because I heard y'all out here taking baths in bleach.
Terrible.
Then I heard y'all on that super antibiotic that moisturize you down there, but does other things to you that you don't even know it's doing to you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna teach y'all
Tell them.
how to keep a clean coochie, a clean wet coochie.
That's
Mama
right.
gonna be like, "Oh Lord, I'm having real conversations, cause I need for y'all to be good. I don't need for y'all out here taking baths and bleach, honey. Eating
No.
pineapple. Don't nobody care about how many pineapples you eat if you ain't drinking water. Your hygiene off. Your pH balance is off.
Hello.
Don't nobody care about pineapples. Like, I'm just saying. So yeah, you
Oh, I'm
want
done.
to tune in to the Tyra Hill Show and subscribe. I love you all. Thank you all for joining this conversation. I appreciate each and every one of you, and Janine, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, sister.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Don't forget, y'all, go over to that YouTube channel and subscribe now. I'm a nana and a mama, so I'm bossy. Go on over there and subscribe now. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. Go on, it's gonna take you less than 1 minute. Just click the YouTube, hit the Tyra Hill Show, hit the button, and every time something pulls up, you're gonna be notified. So do yourself a favor. Connect with us. We love you. All right, bye.